What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Had to get lined up to start this video because it is a very special one. This is my last video I'm making living here in Atlanta, and that's absolutely crazy to say. I've been here 3 years already since moving down from Cleveland, Ohio, and time has absolutely flown by. I've had such a great time here. By the way, if you are a dude in Atlanta, I might be looking for a new barber. I highly recommend checking out Axiom Cutler in Midtown next to Piedmont Park at the Promenade. My dude David there is ridiculous, and he's about half the price of what you'll pay anywhere else good in Midtown. So Axiom Cutler, check it out, you'll not be disappointed.
Let him talk, real things sturdy in the BS routes. Stand up guy won't see me fall. Stay in the cut, won't see me ball. Cause I'm low key, and they think they know me. Like a 30-30, try to dig in this OD. I just let them.
Parking at Piedmont Park is always a hassle. So if you can find one of the few street parking spots, you just hit the jackpot. I used to come to Piedmont Park all the time last year when I was living in Midtown. Ever since I left Midtown to go live in Summerhill, not so much, but I always love coming here to just kick around the soccer ball and relax and enjoy the city skyline. So this is definitely top 3 things I'm gonna miss about Atlanta, I think, because this really is a gem of the city. It's such a beautiful and massive park. Like, it's not just big, but it's like top quality. This grass is so cut short that it's like a soccer player's dream to play on. Please do not have any boots on my car. You gotta check all 4 wheels. Let's see, this one's good. This one is good right there. Gotta check the other side because it could be on the other side. Let's see, this wheel right here is good, and that one is good as well. Let's get on to the rest of it. You guys gonna take a trip down memory lane and show you a lot of flashbacks of everything I've done over the last 3 years and the different places I've lived. So at least for me personally, it's gonna be very nostalgic. I hope you enjoy it as well, and I already know this is gonna take me a long time to film and edit. So at some point, if you could drop me a thumbs up on this video, I would greatly appreciate it. So let's get this rolling. Last video living here in Atlanta. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. So my Atlanta journey actually started before I moved here officially in June of 2021, because in the summer of 2020, the year before, I did an internship here for about 2.5 months. I was working for an accounting firm at the time, and that was a crazy time because that was right in the middle of COVID. I came down and basically everything was shut down here. Everything was closed, or at least just sorta open, sorta not. Everyone was wearing masks, but I still had a really fun time. I was in a really nice high-rise apartment overlooking I-75, 85. I leased it from a Georgia Tech student, and that is essentially what kicked off my love for Atlanta. And during that internship, fortunately, I got an offer to come back full-time the following year. So that's when I decided I'm moving to Atlanta for good next year after that. So check out this throwback of that summer of 2020. Fast forward to May of 2021, when I was set on moving here, my good buddy Eric from high school came down with me here to Atlanta, and we toured about 5 or 6 different apartments all across the city. So we toured one in North Midtown next to Piedmont Park. We toured 2 in the middle of Midtown, kind of near North Avenue. We toured 1 on the east side towards Ponce City Markets. We toured 1 in Buckhead as well. And then the last one we toured was 1 in downtown Atlanta, right next to Centennial Olympic Park, which is where I am at right now. This park, I mean, it's pretty comparable to Piedmont Park. This one is definitely more of a tourist one, but Piedmont Park is probably the best park here. When I was touring all these places, initially I wanted to live in Midtown, but the last one in downtown caught my eye. There's something special about it. Being right next here to this park just felt right. It was close to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is right over there, and I want to go to a lot of soccer games, so that is the one I ended up moving into. It was called MAA Centennial Park, and I had another great experience there. When they talk about me, they say I don't care, nah, I'ma do. I think year 1 here was all about finding myself and figuring out who I was as a person, because it was the year of just new things. It was the first time I was ever away from my family for an extended period of time. It was the first time ever living by myself. So it wasn't all like sunshine and roses. There definitely was some hard times. I think most of that year I spent by myself because I didn't know anyone here. I didn't have any friends. The only people I knew were family like 45 minutes out into the suburbs. Went out to eat by myself a lot, went to bars by myself. I went to Mercedes-Benz Stadium all the time for soccer games by myself. I never went to a Hawks game. I'm sitting right in front of State Farm Arena right now. Never went to a Hawks game. Do I have a regret of not going to any of those over the last 3 years? Not really. They're not that good. Trae Young is like the only player they got, and I don't think he's all that special. Plus, the Cavs are my team. But deliberately put myself in the situation of going across the country and living by myself, not knowing anyone, and having to learn everything all over again really benefited my life and forced me to essentially grow up and mature and become a better person. So I think towards the end of that year, I started making more friends here, got myself more active, and that's when I really started enjoying this city. And part of that, in finding myself, I quit my job that I came down here to do and completely like 180 my career path to do something totally different, which I'm really enjoying still to this day, 2 years later. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sweating absolute bullets right now. I don't think you want to see my pit stains. It is ridiculously hot out. The hottest day in Atlanta year to date. Look at that. It is 96 degrees. 96 degrees. My God, it is steaming out here. But let's take a walk down memory lane of year one in Atlanta. When my lease downtown ended, I decided to move about a mile and a half up the street, up Peachtree to Midtown to Sky House South was my second apartment complex here on the corner of Peachtree and 5th Street or 6th Street, one of those two, and I had an absolute unbelievable experience there. I think that felt more like urban living than downtown, because downtown it's very commercial, not that residential. So when all the tourists go home and all the workers go home at like 5 or 6 o'clock, it gets pretty cleared out. There's not much going on at all. Whereas in Midtown, if you want to get tacos at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can find tacos at 2 o'clock in the morning right down the street, and that was probably the best part. There's some really freaking good tacos in Midtown. Living at that spot in Midtown really fulfilled my dream of always wanting to live in a high-rise in the city. The roof, like 24 floors up, had the most insane view ever, and taking up the drone from there every single week was always a blast. The shots were really so epic, and Skylar and I, my girlfriend, we chilled up there almost every night just taking in the view, because we knew one day we wouldn't have that view anymore. But year two, I think, was the year of progression. I was more established here. I had a good friend group here. I switched jobs, I was getting rolling in that new job, and then Skylar moved in with me about a month later, and that of course flipped my life kind of upside down, but in a very good way because I wanted to. So that being said, here are the highlights from year two in Atlanta living in Midtown. After a full year in Midtown, now we are in June of 2023. We wanted to get a little bit outside of the middle of everything to have a little bit more peace and quiet and relaxation, especially for Skylar. She's not a city girl at all, so she kind of encouraged me, and I totally agreed. I wanted to try something else. So we looked at Old Fourth Ward, out east in Edgewood. We looked in Buckhead a little bit. I even considered around the Battery in like Vinings or Smyrna, but we ultimately decided to come here it was called Alexan Summerhill when when we moved in, but change of management a couple months in. Now it's called Bexley Summerhill in Summerhill, Atlanta, right next to the old Turner Field. And in my opinion, this is one of the coolest areas of the city. There's a bunch of brand new restaurants and bars and barbershop and nail salon and smoothie spot, like a new taco place right down the street that's all popped up within the last year or so, on top of these really fancy apartment complexes and condos. So we've had a really good experience here in Summerhill. And about halfway through, we kind of knew that this would be the last year in Atlanta, regardless what we wanted to do afterwards. We didn't know, but it felt like 3 years in the city. We think we've done everything there is to do here. So it's been a really good year as well. We made a lot of memories in this apartment, which we're cleaning up. As you can see, I got more boxes over there. Decorations are looking kind of bare around me. We're getting packed up, ready to go. So here is a flashback of the last year living here. Let me give you some of my favorites after 3 years here. So favorite bar, I would say Lady Bird. Lady Bird on the Beltline I like a lot. When it comes to breweries, I would say New Realm Brewery for the vibe. But in terms of quality of the beer, I will say 3 Taverns. Best pizza spot in Atlanta, I will die by Vinny's in Midtown. That is a huge debate between me and my buddies. Vinny's New York style pizza in Midtown on 6th Street. It always hit the spot when I was living there. Best wings in the city. Pretty much every single spot in Atlanta will have good wings. That's what Atlanta is known for. But undeniably, the local on Ponce, hands down the best wings in the city. If you like to be outside and hike, my 2 favorite places to hike, number 1, Cochran Mill Park, southwest of the city in Chattahoochee Hills, and then 2, Morgan Falls Park, north of the city in Sandy Springs. Both beautiful places to spend a good amount of time outdoors. And then my ultimate number 1 thing I love to do in Atlanta is go to Braves games. They are so fun. Braves consistently probably top 2 teams in baseball. They're always cranking 5, 6, 7 home runs every time I go. Plus the battery is always got something on at the battery.
What they saying? Hear it all when they talk about me. What they saying? I don't care now, I'ma do
3 years in Atlanta, guys. 3 years, just like that. It feels like I blinked and snapped my fingers and it was all over. It's been truly one heck of a ride, an amazing journey. I think the coolest part is that I started YouTube before I came down here, so I was able to take my camera along with me, make these videos, and really gain a following of people who both enjoy and benefit from seeing this journey I'm on called life. I've truly learned a lot of life lessons living here that I think I can take into the rest of my life. I've become a more mature, better person, I believe, all around. So the Atlanta experience has really been I can hardly talk right now. But it's really been awesome. If you didn't know, I'm moving back to Cleveland, Ohio, where I grew up. I am the new head soccer coach at my old high school, so a lot of content moving forward is going to be focused around that. I think soccer coaching is my calling. It's truly my passion that I love to do more than everything else in the world. So when I got the opportunity, I had to take it. But for my full-time job, I'm staying with the same company here, so I'll be back in Atlanta about every other month on average throughout the year. And of course, every time I'm back, I'll try to get more of these classic Atlanta shots for you guys. We are physically moving out 3 days after I dropped this video on Thursday, June 20th. So next week's video, I'll try to get a little bit of footage of us physically moving out of this apartment and then headed back home. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate it. It was definitely longer than usual. That was on purpose. I wanted to hopefully go out with a bang and make a really long video that both you guys can watch maybe in the future, but honestly, more importantly, something that I can watch, 5-10 years from now, and kind of relive these Atlanta years. So if you guys enjoyed another video today, please drop me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also subscribe to my channel if you have not yet, because I drop a new video every single Monday that you don't want to miss. As always, guys, work hard, be nice people. I'll see you guys next Monday.